when you give the body the proper nutrition, that means what to think, a healthy thought, a good amount, a very, 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 very large amount of good thoughts, right? Doesn't mean you're not allowed to think negative thoughts. Running away from negative thoughts is creating a negative thoughts. Shout out to Jim Rohn, right? No, sorry, that was Alan Watts, actually, that said that. And what you eat, how much you exercise, right? The body needs to exercise. The brain benefits both from exercise, but the brain also requires its own exercise, right? The eyes needs to read. Your eyes needs to see something other than a computer or a screen, right? That's how you eliminate stress. I don't understand why psychology doesn't just make that like, I don't know, find a way to make it a norm. Why do we need therapy? We don't need therapy, right? I got a B+ on my final paper. I told the therapist, I don't think it works. I'm not going to become it, and I'm not going to continue my master's, right? My advisor was very disappointed. She was so confused. She was like, what are you going to do, though? I'm like, well, some of the exercises we did, I integrated in my life, and yeah, it helped me to figure out more of myself. But there isn't anything like, such a big deal that I learned, to be honest with you. I was street smart, everything I learned from Wayne Dyer was a lot more beneficial for me. But there were some specific exercises, right, that helped me, and I told her, well, it helped me to trigger, some suppressed talents within me and passions, and it turned out that I love psychology, thriller movies, and that's how I choose to serve my purpose through writing, not on a one-on-one basis, like I don't see myself like these last semester, not seminars, these one-on-one exercises we had to do with a real patient and stuff. Like, no, I don't want to know the darkest, nastiest, ugliest, craziest secrets of human beings for the rest of my life on a daily basis. It's like, what type of family, what type of life is that? And for $60,000 a year, like, you got me fucked up. Like, first of all, the fact that it's a job is not even my thing. I didn't know how to explain that to her, though, right? And she's like, but like, what about, so you're gonna go back for a job? I was like, well, first of all, I went back to school in 2020 to just kill my voice, that voice in the head that kept, coming up, who do you think you are to write a self-help book, to write a book even? You're not even equipped, you don't even have a psychology, what educational background do you have, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? So I was like, all right, you know what, bet. I'm gonna continue, and I got all my credits, from the art institutes, and from, I also went to college right after high school, right? I gathered everything I could possibly can so I can eliminate taking elective classes, right? And I decided to get my psychology degree, and I did an emphasis on clinical psychology. And at the end, I realized it's like, nope, I've awakened a lot in me. My ancestors are like, nope, therapy, that's not your style. You're from Africa. Your ancestors, we have our own way of releasing trauma, right? We don't need to talk about the same shit again and again and again and again, keeping the energy alive. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, so the more you focus on it, your attention goes, energy grows. So it's like every week you're coming and for 1 hour you're just going and on, and I'm just sitting there listening to you. It's just like fucking stupid. I'm like, no man, I don't want to do that. First of all, my interest was in working as a psychiatrist, like with children that are like on another level, like doing some shit. Like, I just want to figure it out. Why are they the way they are? Like children, it's interesting, they haven't have enough experience yet. Where is this, behavior coming from? That's what my interest is. And so I told her that, but my advisor was just like, she didn't know what to say to me. She's just like, it's a Christian university, so she's just like, well, Jesus Christ blesses you. She's just like, yes, she said something like that, but she was at all, like, she didn't know what to say. I can hear it. But why was I talking about that? Yeah, the body starts like it needs a proper care, right? And then it's just like it doesn't age. The body, if you don't overwork it, it doesn't age. And we need to, like, wrinkles don't come from aging. That's what we need to understand. Like, the shape of the wrinkles are here to teach us, to tell us something, right? Like, what are you doing most of the time, right? Your body is talking to you continuously through wrinkles, breakouts. Our skin doesn't need a foundation every day. I don't understand, but I feel because you have been using it a lot that the skin is not breathing. So now, like, I feel like you need it. I don't know, like, my skin doesn't need it. And I feel that's because I've never used it. I don't know. But the point being, I don't know what wrinkles are, right? They are a constant reminder of what's going on in your head. The brain needs to be relaxed, so you can see it on the man's face if he has a relaxed thoughts or not. What is it? I think it's psychocybernetics, right? He says man thinks his thoughts are private, but he lives their manifestations publicly, right? And the Bible, one of my favorite scriptures also said you would know them from their fruits, right? That's what it means. It's just like, it's not riches, it's not the amount of money, it's not this materialistic thing that brings peace into a man or happiness. That's what these youngins needs to understand. Peace is within you, happiness is within you, love is within you, right? This is what we need to teach children. It's all about feeling. When they understand that, it's all about feeling. Riches is all about feeling. They don't want you to know that, so they continue to distract you. When you're distracted, you're irritated. You're irritated because you're separated from your true self. You're in disease, right? The body needs to be at ease. That's what nature is, right? Most of the time, that's what everything is. Just mimic nature. Pay attention to nature. Nature has its own mood as well, right? When it's windy all the time, scary, windy, loud, right? Like, weather changes, but the majority of the time there's stillness. Stillness is what we see. Stillness through everything. There is stillness that we need to respect throughout life. Whatever it is that you're creating, it needs stillness to come true. How much stillness can you offer? That's what life is about. And that stillness can only come from love when you think about it. And every day, to help you not to give up on it. That's how you bring what you want to life. That's the problem, right? Not having what you want is making them commit suicide. Not having enough likes. Not having... Their value is so fucked up. Like, it's so superficial. It's like... It's crazy, right? How they determine the value of life. It's like based on social media likes. And that's sad for my generation. And it's just, we need to protect them, right? You think I understand you're tired. You have no business of being a parent. Like I always talk about, like, right? You just decide to be a parent because society does it and you conform it, right? As early as 2 years old, you're introducing them to an iPad when you get off work, and even whenever you pick them up, right? You don't even have a relationship with them. Just pay them, give them some food, and then like the iPad, which I understand. It's understandable because your brain also needs to woosah. So you need to watch your little show, a glass of wine. You don't let them be on the iPad. It's not like they can talk to you, right? Seems like it's never like they can talk to you. It continues like that. It comes 13. Now you're like fighting because they won't listen to you. Where have you been? The fuck have you been? You know? Of course they're not gonna understand you. Now he's 12 and 11. He's like, society has raised him. You're trying to get to him. That's impossible. You never spend time with him. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know your energy. That's what parents need to understand. It's all about frequency. How much time you spend with them. That's what they're going to remember. How much... It's not even about being bad or good. It's just about understanding the fact, right? I was trying to explain this to my mom the other day, right? Like, we come from a culture, well, I guess a background. It's not very affectionate, right? And I was trying to explain to her, it's not... And she's here trying to actually blame me for not showing an affection as a mother, and she's trying to give me an example. So I hit her with the perfect example as a child growing up, how I used to scan whenever we went around people, the relationship they have with their mother, how close they are, how affectionate they are. And I told her, you never touched me, right? So I'm like, you need to learn this lesson. I've healed myself, right? But like, here she is like, what? No, mommy, you need to know. I realize these things before you die. She was just like, wow. And I explained to her, I was trying to explain, in my language as much as I can, in a way that she can understand, the explanation of, Dr. Joe Dispenza, how we have a neurological pattern with everything. So it's the same thing. Growing up, we don't have that pattern. So growing up, I'm not going to, turn around and be able to teach you affection. No, I'm going to be able to do it to my kids with my boyfriends growing up, and then husband, right, and spouse, and then the family I'm gonna have. I'm gonna be able to do it to my kids because I didn't have it and I wanted it. You, I don't know. You never had it, obviously, but you had the choice whether to give it or not to give it. And you're not to be blamed because you didn't have it either. But you can learn from society, and especially the country that we're from. You know what I mean? And I tried to explain to her, you had your own reasons for doing that, like, yeah, like not having a man, like since my dad transitioned to America, like at a young age, she had to make sure we don't go bad. Like, I understand. But when there's also a name for that I learned from it. It's called, something parenting. When parents are like hardcore like that, their love is like, received only when you do great, when you do something. So it becomes like a transaction. But yeah, I was trying to explain that to her. So it's like, it's not even a good or a bad. You just go back and scan your childhood, how you were. All right, okay, you didn't like what was done to you. You didn't like how you were treated. Okay, you would change it when it comes to time. But until then, how can you help yourself to feel better? It's not your fault. You're not doing anything wrong. You're helpless. You have no choice. You're a kid. These are your parents. Okay, what are you going to do? Use the internet for something else. Information is out there. Start researching, reading, go to the library, right? Don't just spend your whole time watching celebrities that has zero benefit to your personal life on a daily basis, right? Joe Dispenza also says ignorance is a choice nowadays because information is everywhere, right? Which is really true. Right? Some of us are like, we can't take it. I'm like, you know what? I got something to say. But yeah, that's what wrinkles are. A constant reminder of what is going on up in your head. Thoughts become things.